Okay, listeners, this is me, Steve Harris, if you didn't already know, from the Steve Harris Online Radio Show. Today, it gives me enormous pleasure to welcome a good Facebook buddy of mine. We've been buddies for some time, Helen Louise Adams. Helen has a business in Manchester, and that's the Manchester Coaching Academy. It's a business-related academy where she helps people thrive in business and for their own personal potential. And also, more recently, has written a fantastic book, gorgeous inside and out. Before I go into conversation with you, Helen, I just want to let people know that all these details in relation to your business and book are available on the Steve Harris Radio Facebook page. Please check it out. And Helen, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Steve. Lovely to be with you today.
So, Helen, I thank you. What I just really want to, first of all, we want to find out a wee bit about your book. But before we lead into that, perhaps maybe you can just tell us a bit about your business in relation to Manchester Coaching Academy. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting for the listeners to hear about that, and then maybe lead on to some information on your book. That'd be great.
yeah, that's brilliant. Well, Manchester Coaching Academy, we set it up last year, so it's been going just over a year now. And there's two strands to it. First of all, as you said in your introduction, we are coaching people to become the best they can be. We're coaching businesses to become the best they can be, to really achieve their full potential and move forward on a regular step-by-step basis. But then on the other side, we are in the process of training some of the best coaches in the country. We're going to have 20 coaches on board eventually who are going to be all specialising in different areas, but mainly working through Manchester and the Northwest to really help that area thrive and grow.
Interesting. Will those guys be on board on a consultancy sort of freelance basis, or will they be tied to you as obviously part of your internal team?
Right, initially they'll be freelance. We'll have to see how that goes. But I mean, if it does go well and the work starts to spread, then we'll be looking at sort of, yeah, having them as a permanent part of the team.
Nice one, nice one.
Yeah.
Great. What sort of areas would these people be specialising in, Helen?
Well, there's a range of different what obviously business improvement, and then the strands of that, for example, staff improvement, somebody who can help you with your strategies, somebody who can help you with time management, cost management, everything you need to really be effective. And then on the personal side, you'll have things like a relationship coach, you'll have things like a work-life balance coach, maybe a weight management coach. So the whole sort of entirety of life and business.
That's great. And well, I don't think people can get enough information today
Yeah,
about how to perfect their services and what they do to people out there.
yeah,
Coaching, and I think business related coaching, you can't have enough of. Things change so frequently,
yeah,
and processes and mindsets change frequently too.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
find that, Helen, with people you're communicating to?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, things that somebody was doing one week, something could come in and totally change it all. For example, you could get a new person in your office, and they sort of have this talent that you didn't know about, and then you can use them in, say, in a different sort of field, and take the business maybe in a totally different direction from where it was going before. That's just a really simple example.
Okay, what sort of status have these guys got that you coach, apart from obviously the coaches that you're training right now? If you're going into businesses, from what level of status is it managing director downwards, or are there particular areas that you tend to specialize in, Salesforce and purchasing? What are these people? What are they? Where are they in the businesses?
Well, it's quite a broad spread actually, Steve, because I mean, you can do work just with managing directors or chief execs, really sort of concentrating them on where they want to take the business and their vision, looking at their vision and where everything's going. But I mean, there is more sort of specialist teamwork, which you can do with, say, a sales team or a marketing team, or things to get the team working together. So it's mostly top and middle. I mean, one or two sort of junior things you can do, but it's mainly the others that do take the coaching on board more.
Okay, and you said it was SMEs that you mostly communicate with business-wise.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Say anything from about 5 employees upwards.
Yeah, about five upwards. That's interesting. Well, how long do the courses run for, Helen? Are they day, half day courses, 2 days, 3 days, or do you sort of work them to bespoke situations? How does it work?
Right. Well, normally people can attend our open courses, which are either 1 day courses or half-day courses, and then on the back of that, we can do some follow-up work with them, which will be more bespoke. So, I mean, it could be a couple of days in their office with some of their staff, or it could be a couple of days with a managing director just on his own, for example. So it really is tailored to the business needs, so that they're not wasting any time, they're not wasting any money, they're getting exactly what they need when they
Sure,
should.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. And how long has Manchester Coaching Academy been around? Has it been there for a
Um,
while?
yeah, we set it up at the beginning of January 2010, so it's just sort of almost coming up to 2 years now.
Nice one. Nice one.
Yeah,
That's great.
we're very
Okay. Well, Helen, we're all really kind of excited to find out a bit about your new book that I've heard so much about,
mm,
and that's the gorgeous inside and out. I suppose
yeah.
that could be referring to me. No, I didn't mean it, listeners. I didn't mean it. Maybe you'd just like to tell us a bit about how that's going.
Yeah, it's well. We've actually done. I think this is going to be now our sixth radio interview, so it's getting really sort of popular on the radio and the media. We've also got a really good Facebook fan page, which has got 142 people on, but that's where all the news goes. So please, listeners, if you like the sound of this book, join that page. We're also looking to any sort of TV links as well to get the book, because it's such a powerful message. There's so many things that any one person can get from that book that, I'm really passionate about getting it out there so that
Mm.
as many people as possible can take that message on board.
What is the Facebook page URL for that?
Right, it's called facebook.com and then it's slash gorgeous inside and out. All the words are together.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, well that link will also be on the Steve Harris Radio Facebook page, so that's cool.
Brilliant.
Tell us a bit about what's actually written in the book. Of course, not giving away too many secrets, but just maybe you've got a couple of case studies you can relate to. Maybe the listeners might like to listen to that.
Yeah. Okay then, Steve. Well, the theme of the book is that you don't have to be a size 8. You don't have to wear designer clothes to be gorgeous. True gorgeousness is what you've got within, and then it's to start working on that and building that up so that the rest of your life becomes gorgeous as well. So, as far as inside and out goes, there's the first 4 chapters are on inside, and that's what everybody really needs to work on. And then the last 8 chapters are the outside, which follows on from inside. So it just follows on in a nice logical way. And yeah, as you mentioned, every chapter's got a case study. For example, we had one lady on there who she had cancer, and then her hair fell out, and she felt really bad with the way she looked. So what she learned to do was to start building up her confidence, and then she got this call to go for a makeover that these charities were doing, and then she felt really gorgeous all over again. But it was the inside that had started the outside process.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
It reminds me actually, with some of these, I know I'm digressing a little bit, but you
Mhm.
probably know my expertise lies within video
Yeah.
and video coaching,
Mhm.
and one of the horrific hurdles I have to try and overcome with people
Yeah.
is simply their fear of themselves.
That is
Can
true.
you believe that? They're fit. I
Yeah.
mean, I can get quite emotional sometimes inside when I speak to these guys who are seriously successful people, really
Yeah.
at the top end of where they want to be,
Yeah.
and they say, Steve, do you really think I will be okay to go on screen and do video? And they're
Yeah.
seriously fearful of that.
Right.
And it's a big hurdle to overcome. Equally, I know I'm taking away some of your conversation, but you can fill in what your comments are. So equally,
Mhm.
when we watch these reality television programs,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into any names because most of them are
No.
complete rubbish.
Yeah.
But where they're reality programs
Yeah.
and people see themselves played back,
Yeah.
they're absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
They can't believe how they've behaved, and is that really them? They can't believe it.
Yeah.
So I guess your book, in many ways, kind of explains this to people
Yeah.
about how they can be inside, and they don't have to look the best person in the world. Everyone's got an unbelievable element inside them, and is this what your book kind of tries to sort of encourage?
Exactly, that's what needs to come out. And going back to this thing about looking at yourself in a screen, in the chapters of the different chapters of the book, it sort of gets the person to sort of look at themselves. So the book's almost like a mirror in a way, sort of getting them to think, okay, well, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I want to be doing this? Do I want to be doing that? And then it takes them back to looking at everything again, and them really coming from a place of finding themselves and maybe making new decisions, or maybe reinforcing the decisions they've already made. But it's back to this mirror thing again, and this basic thing. Does that make sense?
Well, it does. Yes, it makes a lot of sense, and I suppose it's encouraging people to familiarize themselves with
Mm-hmm.
who they are, and
Exactly.
maybe draw more confidence. I feel from your
Yeah.
from your statements there. I think if people can be persuaded that, you know what, everybody's got a beauty inside, beauty outside, and this is how it works, and this is the fundamentals behind how we think, and how they should maybe, think and behave, and think about themselves from the outside in.
Yeah.
If people get that a little bit more effectively, then wow, it really really makes a massive difference to their personality, the
Yeah.
way they carry themselves, and their
Yeah.
confidence generally. I think it's a great
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But any
So,
other case studies you got to tell us in there that might be of interest?
right, yeah, well, there's quite a few different ones. Um, yeah, we've got. I think of the one where the one right at the end is in the goal chapter. You know, where I talk about setting your goals and having a vision.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, there was this guy, and he used to run a hotel, and he was a really, really driven, passionate guy. And then all of a sudden, he had this stroke, and he became ill, and that sort of get him to reevaluate what was important to him. And then he did this climb of Mount Everest. Well, he didn't climb all the way up the mountain, but he climbed a good way up the mountain. And then when he saw he was there, it was like he was on top of everything again. And then he used that sort of image to redefine his goals and reevaluate what he wanted. And
Yeah.
he decided what was really important to him was not the work, but his home life, his life with his partner.
Yeah.
And he really took a lot more interest in that rather than rushing around and killing himself with work. So
Yeah.
that was like a turning point in his life.
Yeah, I think people can get very inspired by stories like that, and
Mm,
I think it's great content. Great
yeah,
content.
yeah.
Helen, well, look, I think we're going to leave listeners to take a look at your book, and hopefully, yourselves will be sort of getting to the bestseller level very, very quickly. We
Yes.
hope for that.
Thank you. And just can I just say, Steve, just one last thing. I know this is going to be on your radio page, but if I can also mention again to the listeners that we have an exclusive, gorgeous inside and out event which is coming up this Thursday at the Premier Inn near the Trafford Centre. So anybody who's in the Northwest fancies coming along, we still have places left. Please do come down. It's going to be a brilliant evening. £25. You get a free book, a meal, and a gorgeous coaching session from myself, plus two of the speakers whose stories are in the book.
Well, that sounds like enormously great value, and I've no doubt you'll be well oversubscribed for that event, Helen. And certainly, listeners, that information also will be available on the Steve Harris Radio Facebook page. So please check that out. Helen, it's been a great pleasure chatting with you. I wish you all the success in the world with the book, and many more to follow. And if you're in London town at all, I'd be delighted to meet up and chat further. I'm sure there's a lot of common ground we could chat about.
Yeah, that would be lovely, Steve. I'd love to. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. Bye for now.